The books Claude destroyed to be the best. No, Claude is the best. It can now research like a PhD, one of the phrases we hear constantly in discussions on the evolution of large language models. But Claude's home company, Anthropic, has been the main culprit in a controversy the industry would rather not talk about. On January 27, 2026, The Washington Post's article, "Inside an AI Startup's Plan to Scan and Dispose of Millions of Books," detailed how Silicon Valley companies, Meta and Anthropic among them, have faced a wave of copyright litigation from authors whose books they copied. Tech companies are no strangers to such litigation, and so far they have largely triumphed. But one technique has drawn less attention, a scheme of offloading human knowledge into an AI model that Anthropic itself named the Panama Project. Claude, Project Panama, and Books. In an April 2024 memo submitted as an exhibit in the now well-known Bartz versus Anthropic case, the project's lead, Tom Turvey, described Project Panama as Anthropic's effort to destructively scan all the books in the world. Turvey further instructed staff to keep the project secret. One has to wonder how much this secret effort contributed to the precision of so good Claude, and to how Anthropic became the world's most valuable artificial intelligence company. In 2023, when Anthropic co-founder Chris Olah considered how the company could stand out in a fiercely competitive field, he concluded their models needed coherent long-context reasoning, factual grounding, a useful cognitive style, and excellent writing. This high-level mastery could only be taught through sustained exposure to top-tier text. They found exactly what they needed in one place: books. This massive trove of literature would serve as the bedrock for Project Panama, but the ultimate twist was that these very texts would be completely destroyed in the process. Destruction as control. We are talking about a destructive scan. This is a phrase that has understandably invited apocalyptic readings. We are also talking about a project kept deliberately secret, which hints strongly at both competitive advantage and a willingness to bypass ethics and legality to get it. The only way to keep this knowledge exclusive is to destroy the originals, some of them rare, some findable only through specialist rare booksellers. It turns out that destroying a book is the perfect way to monopolize its truth. The American courts might argue that the book isn't truly gone, that its value has simply migrated into the code. One company destroying 2 million books reads like Fahrenheit 451, except that this isn't science fiction. It speaks to something far more ancient, a battle over the very nature of truth and who owns knowledge. Epistemological erosion. Knowledge, once absorbed this way, is no longer presented as individual authors placed it on paper. It is interpreted and repackaged in whatever way suits whoever controls the machine. Anthropic's own court filings make the point without meaning to. The company argues its models are trained on copyrighted works not to replicate or supplant them, but to turn a hard corner and create something different. Innocent as that sounds, it confirms exactly the epistemological problem long raised about a Western-dominated AI industry. Fine, you can steal my book. But what comes out the other side is filtered entirely through your own thinking, not mine. As a child of a heritage where a scholar once rejected a ruler's demand to restrict the populace to his book alone, I find it distasteful to watch techno-capitalists try to fold all human knowledge into their own bots as a weapon against rivals. A Western blind spot. Every outlet that has covered AI companies' destructive scanning, The Washington Post, Snopes, and others, draws its information from booksellers in Western countries. The West alone. That should trouble us more than it has. Do AI models simply not register non-Western literary culture? Or have the books and scholarship of those cultures already been quietly exported into Silicon Valley's hands, unnoticed and unremarked? These are questions that may never get an answer. which is itself the problem. Compounding this is the fact that Anthropic has reportedly focused on acquiring less common books before destructively scanning them. When a text has no duplicate left standing anywhere else, what you have isn't just an information advantage. It's a monopoly on the text itself. Sadly, all of this is carried out by people who believe every human problem can be solved with technology and who see those solutions as a path to becoming richer still. These are, put plainly, among the least trustworthy people to be making value-laden decisions on humanity's behalf. Meanwhile, not everyone sees a problem here. It's still a stupid headline. They didn't buy antique books. They bought copies of books, wrote LinkedIn user Robert Masters. But the issue is not really about the physical books. It's about knowledge being transferred into a new form that reads back to us only what its owners want it to say, while presenting itself as though it holds that knowledge in full. Conclusion. Perhaps the one thing everyone can agree on, whatever they make of the ethics, is that even the tech leaders quietly admit human intelligence has no substitute. Anthropic and others, going back to the pre-LLM era, to find text good enough to fix their models is itself a confession that no matter how smart they sound, they were built by mining what only unaided human minds could produce. That confession is exactly why we cannot abandon the traditional methods to preserve what we value. Read more, write more, own libraries. Take a stand for yourself and for your community. Try to acquire knowledge the old way, the way even Anthropic had to go looking for it. Don't lend your brain to AI. Let's protect our libraries.